Okay, if you are 7 Excel, we are working from the Advanced 2 textbook. If you are in Math 8, this lesson is not in the blue textbook, but you do have access to it through your Big Ideas Online, and the textbook pages are linked to the agenda. So if you're in Math 8, you're going to have to either go to Big Ideas Online or look at the pages that are linked to the agenda. We are doing lesson 14.3, surface area of cylinders. And it can be found on pages 602 to 603. Surface area of cylinders. So let's take a look. Here's the page from the book. The surface area of the cylinder, here's the cylinder. We have a circle base. We've got one circle base and a congruent circle base down here. So we have two congruent circle bases. And then when we unfold this edge right here becomes a rectangle, and it's called the lateral surface. So when we take this 3D image of a cylinder and we unfold it, we have two circle bases and a lateral surface. And something I want you to notice, the edge of this circle here, the circumference of this circle becomes the length of the lateral surface. It becomes the length of this rectangle. Okay, so let's talk about some of the nuts and bolts of cylinders. A cylinder has two congruent circle bases and one rectangle lateral surface. Okay, so let's draw that. Okay, so this is a cylinder. And we've got one circle base. And here is the second circle base. We have two circle bases. Now, to find the area of a circle, we need to know the radius or the diameter, because we can figure out the radius from the diameter. We need to know the height of the cylinder, and we're going to have to find the circumference of the circle. So let's take this cylinder and let's unfold it. Right now, this is a three-dimensional cylinder. Let's unfold it so we can see what shapes we're dealing with. We're dealing with a circle, a rectangle, and another circle. So here's one circle base. This is the top circle base. And this down here is the bottom circle base. Here's the radius. This is our height. And the circumference of the circle becomes the length of this rectangle. Okay, so this is a cylinder 3D. This is the cylinder unfolded. These are the shapes that we get when we're unfolded. Now, what do we need to know to figure out the surface area of a cylinder? Well, we need to know how to find the area of a circle. We need to know how to find the area of a circle. And the area of a circle is pi r squared. We also need to know how to find the circumference of the circle. I'll do that in green. The circumference. Circumference. There we go. The circumference of the circle. And the formula for the circumference of the circumference, is pi times diameter, or 2 pi r. Okay, so this is the circumference. And the last thing we need to know is how to find the area of a rectangle. The last thing we need to know is how to find the area of a rectangle. So the area of the rectangle is the length times the height. So this is the nuts and bolts. This is everything that you need to know to do today's lesson, okay? But what does all of this mean? Well, let's figure that out. Okay, the book has given us a cylinder that looks like this. Here's our circle base. And here's our second congruent circle base. They're telling us that the radius is 4 millimeters and the height is 3 millimeters. And I know I'm going to have to find the circumference. So let's take this cylinder and let's unfold it. Let's unfold it so we can see what shapes we're working with. We have a circle, a rectangle, and a circle. So here's our circle base. Here's our second congruent circle base. They're telling me that my radius is 4 millimeters and my height is 3 millimeters. Now I know I'm gonna have to find the circumference because that will be the length of my rectangle. So these are the shapes that I'm dealing with. I've got 2 circles and a rectangle. So we need to find the surface area. So the first thing I'm gonna do, I wanna find the area of my circle. The area of the circle. And we have 2 of them, 1, 2. And we know that the area of a circle is pi r squared. So now it's just substitution. 3.14, my radius is 4, and according to the order of operations, we do exponents before we multiply. So I like to put my exponent in here just to remind me to do it first. So 3.14, 4 times 4 is 16. And I'm going to use my handy dandy calculator. 3.14 times 16. The area is equal to 50.24 millimeters squared. But remember, we have 2 of these circles, 1, 2. So it's times 2. Now, I personally like to mark it in here so that I can see what I need to do, what I've done and what I need to do. Now, I need to find the area of my rectangle. But before I do that, I need to find the length here, which is the circumference. So I need to find the circumference. And I know the formula for circumference is 2 pi r. So now it's just substitution. 2 times pi times my radius. And I'm going to put this into the calculator. 2 times 3.14 is 6.28. 6.28 times 4, my circumference is equal to 25.12 millimeters. So this is 25.12 millimeters. Now I can find the area of my rectangle. So we want to find the area of the rectangle. And the area of the rectangle, is the length times the width or height. So now it's substitution. 25.12 times 3. And we're going to find, I'm going to put that into the calculator. The area of the rectangle is 75.36 millimeters squared. 75.36 millimeters squared. So now I need to find the total surface area. So my total surface area is the first base plus the second base plus the lateral surface. And when I put this into the calculator, I'm going to find that the total surface area is 175.84 millimeters squared. So to find the surface area of a cylinder, we have to know how to find the area of a circle, the circumference of the circle, and the area of a rectangle. Then we're going to add all three of those together. So let's do another one. Just for good measure, let's do another one. Okay. The book has given us this cylinder. So here's our base, and here is our second congruent base. And they're telling me, now I know this is done horizontally, but we still consider this to be the height, because I can turn it this way, in which case it is the height. So we do, even though it's done horizontal, we do still call this the height, and it is 12 centimeters. Then they're not giving us a radius, they're giving us a diameter of 6 centimeters. And I know I'm going to need to find the circumference. So this is what the book has given us, and they're asking us to find the surface area of this cylinder. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to unfold this cylinder so that I can see what shapes I'm working with. So here's my circle base, and here's my congruent circle base. My height is still 12 centimeters. I'm going to have to find the circumference of this circle so that I can find the length. And then they haven't given us a radius, they've given us a diameter. Okay, but that's okay. I know how to work with this because I know that the radius is exactly half of the diameter. So the first thing I want to do, I'm going to take the easy route. I'm going to find the area of the circles. The area of the circles. And we have 2 of them. So the area of a circle is equal to pi r squared. So now it's substitution. 3.14 times, they haven't given us the radius, but can we figure out the radius? Absolutely. We know that the radius is half of the diameter. The radius is half of the diameter. So my radius is 3 centimeters. So my radius 3, and the order of operation says I do the exponents before I multiply. So 3.14, 3 times 3 is 9. I'm going to put this in my calculator, 3.14 times 9. The area is equal to 28.26 centimeters squared. But remember, I have 2 circles, so this is times 2. Now, I personally like to put my area in here so that I can see what I've done and what I still need to do. Okay? So now I need to find the area of this rectangle. But to do that, I need to find the length. And the length is the circumference of this circle. So I need to find the circumference. And I know that the formula for the circumference of a circle is 2 pi r. So now it's substitution. 2 pi is 3.14, and my radius is 3. So I'm going to put this in my calculator. 2 times 3.14 is 6.28 times 3. My circumference is equal to 18.84 centimeters. So the length here is equal to 18.84 centimeters. Now I can find the area of this rectangle. So the area of the rectangle, area is equal to my length times my width. The area is equal to my length times my width. So let's go ahead and substitute. The length is 18.84 and the width is 12. So I'm going to type this into the calculator, and I find that the area is equal to 226 800 centimeters squared. So I'm going to put this in here, 226.08 centimeters squared. Now to find the total area, the total surface area. The total surface area is my base plus my second base plus the lateral surface. And when I put this into the calculator, I find that my total surface area is 282.6 centimeters squared. So this is what we're doing today. It's kind of like a puzzle. I can find the area here, but before I find the area of this, I've got to find the circumference. So that's what we're doing today. You have all the tools that you need. Have fun with it.